Can we hear us all now? Are mics working? Is our audio problem solved? Yay or nay? I'm assuming if you can't hear me, you're just not going to say anything. So, oh yes, I'm getting a yes, Pog. Thank you, Hideo. All right, here we are, game one. Technical difficulties aside, you didn't hear me roast Mary, but it's okay. I don't need to roast her again. We are seeing a 4-man invade in the bot side jungle. Perfect. Perfect. You can hear everything. If you want to blame anyone, blame our producer. It's all her fault. But regardless, we're seeing a normal fan out. Nothing too fancy right now. You can roast her again. Thank you. But as minions have spawned, we're not seeing anything too fancy. No fancy invades. No nothing like that. Just the Hecarim solo clearing his Raptors and the Grave starting on his red.
I definitely think that basically just kind of gaining XP at this point, I think it's going to probably be the number one factor of this game, is that a majority of the champions that everyone's playing is that raising their level, raising their XP is probably the number one closest factor about getting ramped up and then just kind of getting it above before your opponent's team has enough time to set up.
I really agree with that. I think the early to mid game is going to be something that's very important because what both of these teams kind of want to do is they want to scale and get to that mid lane point. So I feel like whoever can get to that level 7 mark, level 8 mark first is really going to have a huge advantage, especially with like even the level 6 point you could talk about with this Galileo getting his ultimate up and being able to roam around the map and get these combos going. But just little trading going on across the map so far with Eli Ron and Mr. Cuddles, or Mick Cuddle rather. And Halachu and Fruit in the mid lane, but nothing too fancy for going out. Just junglers full clearing their camps, trying to get that level 3 mark before, or even the level 4 mark before the Scuttle Crab is to spawn at 315. I want to point out. Continue.
It's definitely just I feel like that it's just like the normal early game setup that we have right now. It's just going to be a lot of trading back and forth, just doing small hits here and here, and then.
I agree, but I am going to interrupt you as we're starting to see a fight in the mid lane. As Man Walrus has roamed himself up, he hits the Dredge line onto the Orianna, who has to blow her flash to try to get to safety. Halachu flashes the tick from the Ignite, will take her down, and that is first blood to Ithaca College.
It's really interesting to see first blood this early on. Normally we see first blood around like 8 to 10 minutes, but now we got first blood already on the field.
Exactly, we're getting a lot of early blood, which is something that's really exciting, and especially impacting this mid lane rather is something that's going to be pretty important because you want to see the level 6s come early. But Sandbag in the mid lane, forcing a flash from the Graves in his gank. Orianna is back to ensure that Lambo doesn't get dove, but overall, I'd say this is looking really good for Ithaca so far. You're seeing Hecarim up a few camps in a level. He's going to be able to double crab this Graves because of the priority in this bot lane. As well as this top lane. I want to talk about this top lane really big. It's not something that's a super common lane, but Sylas is actually a pretty good matchup into the Malphite just because he scales pretty evenly along with him, and Malphite can't bully him out his lane. And once Sylas is able to hit that level 6 mark where he can steal ultimates of other champions, it's really good because like he gets the same usefulness that the Malphite would have while also being able to trade with him. So it's a pick that I think was a very good idea by Eli Ron.
Definitely a very good pick.
Ithaca, this is kind of wacky. 5 minutes in, I understand there's the first blood gold, but they're almost 1,000 gold up already. And they have 2 huge waves that are starting to stack towards their towers. So looking very healthy so far as champions are starting to hit, at least their laners are starting to hit the level 4, the level 5 marks, getting closer and closer to that level 6 mark we know we are very excited to be at.
I don't know about you, but I think definitely, I feel like that very much control in this game is definitely going to be the bot lane.
I agree, and we are seeing fighting in the bot lane either, as the Dredge line was able to connect on the Ashe and force her to back off. She doesn't have to blow any summoner spells this time, but she will be taken very low. So that's like exactly what you're talking about. This bot lane is going to be a huge focus for this game. We haven't really seen the junglers impact it very much so far, but I mean, they had prio early, so Man Walrus was able to roam up and get that mid lane for the first blood in the mid lane, or they just had the pressure there that was able to force back the Ashe and the Nami lane. So I agree with you. I think the bot lane is going to be something very important to look forward to in the next couple of minutes. Oh, Dredgeline landing onto the Nami, stun, able to connect along with a Gen W. CF card will get bubbled up, but no summers will be blown so far as Sandbag's actually ganking the top lane. Level 6 already into Miss McCuddles, and will he be taking out last tick of the autos? He will not get it. Corrupting Pot saving his life. Oh, no, never mind. Eliron able to hit that level 6 mark and steal the Malphite ultimate to go in. Halachu, though, is a little bit overextended as he gets pulled in by the Orianna ult. He probably will not make it out of this, saying he does not have the flash, and he won't. Although it is important to notice that Ithaca's bot lane's starting to roam up, and yeah, they might not have ultimates, but they have all their summoners, and I think they could take this fight. Flash from Manwars into the dredge line onto the Graves. He gets connected. He will be killed. Nami is now here to join the fight, but I'm not sure it matters too much. CF card forced to flee, heal because of his low HP. The flash exhaust from the Nami will be able to take him out, and one more auto should do it, and there it is. Another kill on to the Nautilus, who is now 3-0. That's a fed tank. It's something you love seeing, but overall, a 2-for-1 fight on the side of it.
I always just love, and definitely especially, is that we have these big, massive tanks coming up from IC, and just how much they like start bonking everything, trying to get us we're gonna do 2v1. No, this tank is not gonna have it, and we just see this massive destruction, especially coming from Manwalrus.
Exactly. He's using his pressure to really, he's using his pressure to give more pressure around the map, if that makes any sense to anyone. But he's going to be he almost has more items than his carry does at this point. He has the Moby boots along with the Bomby Cinders. He's going to be, at this point in the game, relatively unkillable unless things get going. That's... But looking along, I'm going to start to see, or I think we'll start to see Ithaca focus around these dragons, especially because they have so much prio. Is like, we see Manwars already in the mid lane. Once again, this is his third time ganking the lane. He's able to connect the Dredge line onto the Orianna, who does have flash to get out and will not need to use it. But although Sandbags and Graves have come, but Sandbag was killing the Nami outside of our screen, so he gets a solo kill in that fact. And these supports have been roaming around the map like crazy. They've spent very little time in the bot lane, it feels like, so far. It's like CF Card and Slu are already level 6, whereas like Manwalrus and the Nami are not. But Sandbag using the devastating onslaught of shadows. It's just onslaught of shadows, but I added devastating for comedic effect. But Halachu stuck under the tower, getting hit by the Graves, will be killed by the ultimate. And he will trade his life, which is unfortunate to see. But Ithaca still has a solid over 3k gold lead at this point. Maybe a little bit under 3k gold lead, but
that gold is definitely going to be huge, especially in later game when we have items and such. And
yeah.
The other thing that we were talking about earlier is we're talking about the Drake, and I definitely agree with you back there that the IC having control of the Drake is definitely going to be huge, and they're going to have all control of the later game if they get control of the second Drake.
I agree. I think this early gold, like, you look at Ithaca's gold lead right now, they have almost like a full item on their laners as the dredge line misses onto the bot lane of St. Lawrence. But, like, a full item, that's kind of crazy for this early in the game. But Halachu going in onto the Orianna. Sandbag is here to help him out, and the Graves is on his way. She will be taken very low, but she will be able to get out of the fight due to her phase rush and her ultimate connecting on both Sandbag and Halachu. Wow, that's some very extended trading that we're seeing in the top lane. Eliron doing a lot of damage to the Malphite. We are seeing the power of this counter pick that he has taken right now. And as we talked about before, early Drakes, we see the Heck Roam down, clearing the first Drake of the game, which is an Infernal. For those of you who don't know, there are 4 different Drakes in the game. The Infernal Drake, the Cloud Drake, the Ocean Drake, and the Mountain Drake. Each one of them has their own passive, the Infernal Drake in this case being an increased ADAP ratio. I think it's 3% or something like that.
It's 3%.
Oh, nice. I'm happy you know this. And the Mountain Drake is a little bit of passive MR/armor, which will be the next Drake we see. But after the first true Drakes, we get to see the ocean, the soul of the map and the map adjusting. But We're seeing a fight in the top lane as Graves is forced to blow his flash underneath his tower as 3 members from Ithaca are there to take his crud camp. Oh no. Graves, that's not where you want to be. You can't win that fight. St. Lawrence, though, does have now... They do now have 4 people on top side of the map, but this is really wacky, this kind of game, because it's like, usually in League of Legends, people are like, the top lane is the island. That's where you're not going to see anyone. But in this game, it's like the bot lane is the island. Neither of the supports have really been there all game, and it's just been the Jhin and the Ashe farming it out. And as we can see, the Jhin is almost 30 CS up already on this Ashe, which is really huge.
Again, I agree with you, is that having these supports roaming around is that it's just so interesting to see that. Normally it's like we're trying to back up the bot lane, but like it's very, very, very wacky, as you said.
But I don't know. I'd like to see, and if we could see gold charts really quick. I want to know how far ahead these are 2 laner. Like more, I want to see the gold of the Nautilus right now. I feel like that's very important, but it's all right. Yeah, it's good. I'm hearing from production that we actually won't be able to see the gold charts because they don't like us. Mary doesn't want us to see them because she doesn't approve. But I'm just kidding. But Graves just finished his shield bow, which is actually relatively early for a mythic item. It's the 2nd mythic item that was completed so far this game, although I'm sure Hecarim will be able to complete his too, as I think he's only backed once this game and it's 13 minutes in. But oh, perfect. Mary decided to bless us with gold charts, and okay, so we're seeing that's a big lead. This Jhin and the Nautilus, the bot lane of Ithaca College, has a really big lead at this point. Over 1,000 gold for both of them individually. That's kind of crazy to see somewhere. Yeah, like that. 1,000 gold is big in this early style of the game. And I do enjoy the lane swap that Ithaca has done here, moving their bot lane to the mid lane to start to get priority over the objectives, and moving their side lane or their solo laners to the side lanes, which I feel that's important because at this point, if you're just going to have the AD carry in a solo lane anyways, you might as well just put them mid lane so they can move around the map a little bit more because they don't have TP. Whereas both Halachu, or in Ithaca's case, both Halachu and Eliron do have the TPs. Seeing a little bit of a dive coming to the Ashe. Not much she can really do about it. I don't even think she's going to blow a summoner, and she doesn't, as both Sandbag and Manwalrus are able to take her down. And unfortunate to see, and it looks like this will be first tower going over to Ithaca College as well. So a little bit of bonus gold shoved into the pockets of the Hecarim, the Nautilus, and the Silas.
That Sandbag Manwalrus combo right now is definitely key to this game.
Yeah, the support jungle synergy is really showing, and Mr. Cuddle Mick Cuddle rather, is taken very, very low in the top side, although he does have his jungler to come save him, and unfortunately it means the demise of Halachu in this game. But Curtain Call didn't really do too much there, but it did come out as he gets hit by the Ashe arrow afterward. But
Seems to me, I don't know about you, but I feel like that Manwalrus is looking for his next victim.
Yeah, it does seem that way indeed. Just roaming around the map, and here comes a dive from the Hecarim. Orianna will flash and goes to try to get to safety, which she does because of the movement speed. But oh my lord, that was some fancy Silas healing, and that's a solo kill to the Silas. And he's starting to bulk up too, I'll be honest. This game is looking kind of done already. 6,000 gold at 15 minutes.
And 2 turrets.
It's a pretty big lead at this point, and it's like Ithaca will pick up their second Drake, and which will either give them the Mount or the Cloud Soul or the Ocean Soul. I mean, one of which is much better than the other one for sure, but it's fun. Oh, it is an Ocean Soul, so it's what we wanted to see. It's the spicier of the two souls. Halachu gets forced to blow his flash because of Lambo and Bunny, who were roaming around the topside jungle of Sandbag. But yeah, these leads are just slowly getting larger and larger. We see every member of Ithaca but Halachu right now has at least a level on their opponent. Oh, well, as I say that, McCuddle hits 11, so that's no longer true. But looking for some vision, though. Their topside jungle, Rift Herald will be spawning in a few moments, I would presume. We don't exactly have the timer on that one, but I could tell you that Baron spawns in 3 minutes, which I feel like is an objective that Ithaca could take on the 20-minute dot if they wanted to.
I definitely feel, I don't know about you, but I feel like we got this hunch coming on that there's just going to be one big push coming from IC soon, and I feel like that's going to be one deciding factor is how this big push is going to happen.
I agree with that, and like looking at the team comps, I know we have a big lead so far, but if St. Lawrence was to come back in this game, which at this point, it doesn't look likely. I'll be honest. This game looks kind of over at this point. This would be an FFF15 game in solo queue. It's not something that I would want to play out. But if St. Lawrence was to come back, what do you think would be, how do you think it would happen? What do you think they would need to do?
I definitely think that I feel like there's going to be almost ganging up upon.
Uh-huh.
Like, it definitely is that having a 2v1 is definitely going to put in their favor. I feel like that the one thing is that if they take out, because I feel like I see Shield and Sword right now is definitely a combination between Man Walrus and Sandbag, and if they can get rid of them and do one big push, I feel like that's going to be very detrimental and either take out as much turrets as possible, or if they're just going to go straight at it and just kind of stick as one big unit.
I agree with that, and I also think that the main figure to look at in this game for St. Lawrence is their jungler. This Graves is a semi-scary champion almost always, but at the same point, he's ahead right now, and I think if anyone was to turn the tides of the game, it would be that Graves pulling off something miraculous. Like, I understand he has all 3 of his kills have come from Halachu, who at this point hasn't had the best performance this game on the Galio, but at the same point, like, speaking of Halachu, they're looking for a pick on him right here. They don't get much out of it, but regardless. Oh, Sandbag coming in with a huge ult. Galio was able to come back and knock up the Nami. Graves is running for his life, and he gets so much healing and so much shielding from his shield bow, but Halachu, caught under the tower, will die this time, as now it looks to be a 5v3 in the mid lane. Doesn't look like there'll be too much fighting, although Jin is really extended in the top lane, so as long as you can get away safely, that's all that matters, and it looks like he will be.
Especially we're very... oh my
Lord. In the top jungle, Eli Ron deals so much damage. He lands his hook onto Bunny, who wasn't expecting to be the one. At least I wasn't expecting to do it. Flash and the W will kill her, and that's a double kill to the Silas, who is now 4-0. It's a big Silas. He's starting to scale up and get pretty strong. So another champion that St. Lawrence is going to struggle to hold back, because especially with all of his mobility that he gets with that champion, it's going to be tough to pay attention to.
It's also interesting is that not only that St. Lawrence only has 1 tower left in, IC still has all of their towers very close. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure that St. Lawrence only has 1 tower left. And
They have all of their inner towers, so they've lost all their outer towers. They only have their inner towers left standing. So, I mean, Ithaca has started their push. I feel like this next Drake that's spawning in 40 seconds now will be pretty free. I don't think that Lambo and St. Lawrence will be able to contest it, but yeah. Ithaca just got to keep pushing forward, taking these fights. I like how slow they're playing the game. They aren't necessarily looking for dumb fights. They're trying to play for objectives, and when they spawn, like we can see the Rift Herald pushing up top lane right now, that McCuddle is going to have to stop sooner or later. But
I definitely think this is definitely because IC definitely is that probably one of their #1 strong suits is that they definitely have a very good communication with one another. Is that all of them are very good at communicating, saying, hey, I got this if you can cover me with doing this. And therefore, it's creating these big, strong, bulky, almost attacks almost.
I do agree with that, and But they're really rotating these objectives really well. It's like they realize that Halachu at this point is just playing weak side, and wherever Ithaca is, Halachu tends to be ganked up on. But I don't know. I think it'll be a tough game for St. Lawrence to look forward to in the future, and especially with this third Ocean Drake about to fall, and there it goes. That puts Ithaca on Soul Point. And just a reminder for those of you who aren't completely knowledgeable about the game, an Ocean Soul, or a Soul in general is when you get 4 Drakes, and out of all the souls, the mountain, the Infernal, the Ocean, and the Cloud, the Ocean Soul is probably the strongest one out there. It gives in combat regeneration as well as a little bit of extra regen outside of combat. So something that is very, very strong to have. And assuming Ithaca gets this, I think the game is near impossible to win.
Yeah, I feel like also on top of that, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I feel like as we're looking at like St. Lawrence and I feel like St. Lawrence is definitely playing a defensive game right now.
Mm-hmm. I really agree, and I think it's what they have to do. They're now down 9,000 gold. They have so much. Ithaca has so much vision inside of the jungle of St. Lawrence that there's not really much they can do that's offensive right now. I mean, they just have to look for Ithaca to make a mistake. I love saying this is one of my favorite lines ever. It's like, it's not it's not St. Lawrence's game to win. It's Ithaca's game to lose at this point.
I definitely think, I don't know about you, but I guarantee in the next, I would say 3 to 4 minutes is that IC is going to just kind of come out of nowhere, probably like a sandbag, man-walrus combination, and just start attacking towers, and it's going to catch either very much that St. Lawrence is going to catch it, or St. Lawrence is going to get caught really off guard, and they're going to be like, oh my lord, and it's going to full-on invasion.
I agree with that, and I think it'll start at the Baron. I believe that Ithaca should start looking towards taking this Baron and forcing a fight, and if St. Lawrence don't fight them, then Ithaca just should be able to take the Baron for free and start working at those objectives like you were talking about. But I feel like the point of contention right now will be that Baron that is spawned. I mean, they are starting to even get vision around it. Oh, Dredge Line misses onto Bunny. Sandbag is here to save him, but as well as Lambo, who we do have to remember is very strong at this point, but doesn't look like they're looking for too much of a fight at the moment.
Definitely having that regen is definitely going to come very much helpful in late game. That's what I feel like is going to be like a very key factor of now that IC has that regeneration.
Yeah, it confirms it pretty much makes their fighting easier as Graves does get stunned up. He will get the Nautilus to ult him, but not too much else will come of it as he just is able to back off. Ithaca will take 2 of the 3 inner towers, so they only have 1 tower outside of their main base standing. And I really think Ithaca should just start looking for this Baron, force a fight, because I do not think St. Lawrence can win it at this point. I mean, you look at some of the items they have right now. All of Ithaca's carries have 2 items, except for the Galio. Galio is the only one of the carries who does not have 2 items. So I really feel like they want to be looking for a fight, because not a single member, support or jungler or ADC otherwise, have 2 items on the side of St. Lawrence. So I really feel like they should just be looking for a fight, looking for taking that Baron, and then looking to end the game. Halachu has to TP out of the fight. Not out of a fight, but out of top lane, so he's getting collapsed on by 4 members. Eliron, though, is diving McCuddles down in the bot lane. He will be taken pretty low, but his W will heal him up, and even blows the flash of the Malphite, and he will kill him underneath his tower. And, I mean, even if I was just saying it. Galio just finished the 2nd item. So that's now every member of Ithaca that has at least 2 items. Every member but Man-Walrus. Sorry, Manny, you don't get 2 items just yet. But every member but the support having 2 core items right now, which is very huge. So it does look like at this point, though, we won't be seeing the Baron fight. Our next big fight, that'll be at the Ocean Soul in 40 seconds when that spawns. That'll be the moment we're looking for. Maybe... I don't know. I think this could decide the game right here. If St. Lawrence is able to win and get this Drake, it buys them another 5 minutes before they have to deal with the possibility of an Ocean Soul. Whereas if Ithaca is able to get their Ocean Soul, or get the Drake and get the Soul, it'll really start impacting them. But Eliron engaging onto the Nami in the back, Ashe in the backline rather, will blow her shield bow. Curtain Call does come out and is able to take her out as Dredgeline also misses in the jungle. It is now a 4v5. All of Ithaca's members are relatively healthy. Eliron is at about 75%, which is the lowest health member. Oh, less than that now, at around 50%. But St. Lawrence is just looking to give this Drake even. They might... Nope, they aren't even going towards the Baron. It'll just be the Drake given the Ocean Soul for Ithaca College.
Yeah, that Ocean Soul is going to be very, very detrimental.
Oh. Dredgeline lands on the Graves, who is all alone by himself. The Orianna ult from the Sylas has not been used yet, but I'm assuming it will soon. There it gets used onto the Malphite. Galio is coming in too. Graves forced to flash over the wall, but Galio and Sylas are not letting them run away. Nami dies in the back of the fight. Sylas gets 2 with Orianna and Graves, and Malphite is now running for his life, and he will not be running long as he gets taken down by the Sylas for a triple kill.
Yeah,
I think this might be the end of the game. I'm thinking Ithaca might go for the end right here. 27 minutes in, they have a wave coming up as well as Ocean Soul to help them all regenerate, so I really don't think there's much that St. Lawrence can even do. The Ashe is the only one. Slu is the only one alive right now, and there's 5 seconds on the Nami, and the other death timers are relatively long, so I really don't think there's anything to do. Here goes the first Nexus Tower, which has now fallen. The second one is rapidly getting killed. There it goes, and Ashe ult into the base as Ithaca College destroys the Nexus and takes game 1. That was a really dominant showing that we've seen right now, and we are running a little bit behind, so I can't take too much time to talk about post-game, but we are going to step out for a moment, and we'll be right back once they get started with game 2. Welcome back, guys. I missed all of you, especially Apollo's Rain 1, of course. But getting into this game, we aren't quite in draft yet, but I just wanted to take a minute to talk about that first game. We saw a dominant showing out of Ithaca College. That jungle support duo was really crazy, and I'm excited to see what they do in games to come.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with you that that whole entire combination was just like perfect, like full on chef's kiss, if you will. That it was definitely the cream of the crop is that combination. I feel like that we're also going to see that in the second game, or it's either that or if that St. Lawrence is going to predict it, we're going to figure out how it goes.
I agree, and as that happens, we are starting to get into draft right now with now St. Lawrence being on the blue side and Ithaca College being on the red side. What do you want to see different from draft? What do you think will help St. Lawrence as far as the draft goes?
I really do think that they are going to ban Nautilus. I don't know why. It's just part of my gut is saying that Nautilus is going to get banned just to kind of shut down Man Walrus.
I agree with that, and they start out by taking away Man Morris's Alistair, which is something that we know he loves to play and loves to get super aggressive on, and it's another one of those roaming champions that we tend to see consistently, followed by the Seraphine, which is a consistency. I don't think Ithaca will really change any of their bans. Maybe they toss in a Graves ban second rotation if it doesn't get picked, but other than that, I'm not too worried about it. And the Ivern ban, I love Ivern. He's such a I love dinky characters, and he's so dinky. So just seeing him get banned or get picked really just makes me so happy.
Now, I know character selection. Now, I'm kind of curious if they're going to select Graves again. I don't remember who played it on the St. Lawrence side, but I'm really interested to see if they're going to select Graves again and see just because of how the first game played out is that Graves was kind of shut down almost.
So Lambo was the one who played the Graves before. Now Ithaca switched up one of their bans and they banned the Galio. It just seems like they don't necessarily find that pick, or they think they will pick it up on the side of St. Lawrence, but St. Lawrence just first picks the Shen instead, which doesn't get banned. So that's a very global champion. That's something that's very, very important and very, very useful towards the mid to late game fight.
Again, I don't know about you, but I'm really I think we're going to have another bot lane match kind of fight. I feel like that's kind of the bread and butter of this match.
No, I really agree, especially because that Shen using is a standalone or his ultimate, his global ultimate to get around the map. And as Eli Ron locks in the gangplank in response, we know it's not necessarily going to be that super aggressive kill lane that we want in the top lane. It's just going to be a farm and scaling lane. So, but definitely we'll be looking towards the bot lane with this one. Ooh, okay. That's spicy. That's not something I expected to see. The Nunu coming out from IC Sandbag. Nunu is such an annoying champion to play against. Nunu players really make me mad because you can't out-clear him, you can't out-path him, and you can't out-gank him because as soon as you see him on a ward, you're just dead. It doesn't matter if you see him on a ward across the map. If you see him on a ward coming towards you, there's just nothing you can do about it because his snowball is just so fast.
You just kind of got to stand there, just take it at this point.
But the MF locked in response, going towards that bot lane. We didn't know it was a pick that Slu really enjoyed. So, and it was banned away by Ithaca in the second phase last time. So I am interested to see. Oh, another champion I hate. This game is just full of champions I really don't like. Olav, another ruthless, annoying, stupid jungler that abuses Gourd Drinker and is able to heal his whole health bar with one stupid item in it. Followed up by the Kaisa. So these are really spicy looking comps. There's a lot of power picks I've picked so far that really didn't happen all that much in the first game. We have the Kaisa, we have the Olav, we have the Gangplank picks that very, very strong picks that we did not see before. So this one's looking to be a little bit spicy.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how that Olaf. I think that I'm Garrett. Ooh.
Morgana ban. Yeah. I think I agree that we'll be looking towards a lot of support bans coming through. And I swear if St. Lawrence locks in Yuumi, I'm just going to be mega tilted for the rest. I'm just done. I might as well just leave. But Yuumi Olav is a stupid combo. And especially with the Shen, they have infinite frontline. They have infinite healing. They have the backline in Misfortune. I think the Yuumi pick would be big. I think the Yuumi would be something that St. Lawrence could look forward to or look to pick. But
Yeah, and then we just have the Nautilus band that just came out. So we got Man Walrus down both of his tanks, and it's kind of interesting to see what Man Walrus is gonna figure out just as a response to it.
So I know that recently Man Walrus has been playing a lot of Nico. So I'm wondering if we might see a Nico pick, because the Nico Kaisa has pretty okay synergy with how Kaisa's passive works compared to Nico hitting all of her abilities. So I wouldn't be surprised if we were to see something like that, because that gives a little bit more CC and a little bit more something like that. And that is the Anivia getting locked in for Halachu in the mid lane. Another power pick that you don't always see. It's very, very strong in the mid lane. A lot of wave clear, a lot of just chilling out. And he could play relatively safe with no fear of getting ganked or getting killed.
Yeah, I love Anivia. That's probably somewhat that I've been playing with. Is definitely Anivia is like that widespread attack defense thing that's kind of just so detrimental, especially in bot lane.
Zyra, that's kind of okay. So we'll be seeing the Zyra in the bot lane, another pokey mage. So I'm just saying Nico goes well into Zyra. So I'm thinking that this is looking like a Nico game, like very, very, very likely we see a Nico here. I don't know about very likely, but I want to see a Nico here. That's what I'm looking forward to. And another control mage locked in to finish out St. Lawrence's draft, the Oriana, something that Fruit played last game. And I'd say had pretty okay success on. He was getting camped. Yeah, camped if you want to call it that. It was even more than that from Man Walrus and Sandbag. So not necessarily a pick that I'd say I'm upset with. That's really funny. He is rocking the Dorm aesthetic. We just got a message from our producer, but Nico. See, I was right. I talked about it in the draft. Man Walrus has been playing a lot of Nico, and he will be piloting this in this game. And as we're looking forward, I just looking at how these teams want to fight. You want to see engage with the Olaf followed by the Shenal on the side of St. Lawrence, whereas Ithaca is looking to play through the early game with this Nunu and try to snowball the game just like they did last time.
I definitely do agree with you that playing the early game is probably going to be what Ithaca's probably going to be doing. And I really feel like this game is not. It's not like how the last game was just more of like bang 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 your XP up. I feel it's going to be definitely more of controlling, either controlling your drakes, controlling the turrets, controlling whatever it may be. It's definitely going to be a game of control.
I do agree. This will be very, very controlling, but we are about to leave for one more break. So pray for us in the chat that Mary's OBS doesn't break, and give us either a hashtag IC or a hashtag St. Lawrence win in the chat. And we'll be right back with the game. long-awaited Mary's computer has not crashed, so it looks like that we are okay. It just means enough of you haven't subbed, so I guess shame on you guys for not making Mary's computer crash. But regardless, we're getting into game 2 now. I'm very, very excited to see how this goes. And first thing I'm noticing is 3 teleports on the side of Ithaca College. That's a lot of global pressure to have going into this game.
Yeah, again, I think that pressure is definitely necessary, especially as we said before the break, is that definitely this game's definitely going to be in control, and having that teleport is definitely going to give IC more control than St. Lawrence right off the bat.
I agree, and we're seeing a little bit of a cheeky invade from the bot lane of Ithaca. It is noticed out, which could prove bad in the moments to come because they don't know they're sitting on a ward, but regardless. Other than that, just like a normal fan out, no other fancy invades or fancy fights coming along as of this moment, which is unfortunate. But You know, I'm interested to see how Sandbag decides to path this game. I'm wondering if he's going to go for something like a full clear as we see him and Eli Ron dancing it out on the red buff pit, or if we're going to see more of a gank-oriented pathing where he just goes buff, buff, gromp, and then just decides to snowball himself around the map.
I definitely think just based off of just like how that snowball is used, I definitely think that snowball is just going to be like almost like a fun little TCAP buff all the way around.
Yeah, I agree. That snowball is going to be able to take him everywhere. Oh, root landing on Manwars. He's 1 for 0. I think I'm going to start a counter with how many he makes compared to how many misses that we see on camera, because as watching through some of his game VODs, he doesn't miss those root callers very often. Oh, 2 for 0. That's looking pretty spicy. But yeah, okay. So the Nunu is opting towards this. Not full clear, but pretty normal jungle camp clear where he's just going to take all of his camps but his Krugs and then contest the bot scuttle, which he will have an Olav at, but Orianna is able to get an early ward, so they will know exactly where Nunu is, or maybe they won't because the ward was not on the blue rather, but on the bush. I guess that makes sense for a gank, but oh, 3 for 3. He's looking pretty good so far, and he even gets the Dark Harvest stack. Love to see it. And first Drake of this game is going to be the Mountain Drake. So something that we had in the first 2 Drakes last game. It gives a little bit of passive armor and MR for each champion of the team that gets the Drake. But other than that, there's not too much fancy going on right now. Just normal laning phase, junglers clearing camps. We might see something around the Scuttle Crab, which I feel like would be our first point of contention. But Ithaca has priority over the bot lane, and Halachu may not have prio in the mid lane, but regardless, I think that Ithaca would look to fight this just because of the smite eat combo that Nunu has, and we don't have camera angle on it right now, but Sandbag smited away. Maybe he's saving his eat for the other crab because it does look like he'll be there before Olav gets there, but taunt missing on the Eli Ron on the top lane. Just cheeky little trades coming around, not too much. We didn't see the E, so I'm not gonna count that one as a miss, but regardless, I think Manwars did miss that snare, unfortunately.
Yeah, definitely. Having priority of that bot lane is either going to be. It's going to be interesting seeing how that bot lane is going to play out this game. I'm really looking for. Oh my lord! Sandbag coming in.
Yeah, coming in the top lane, getting a big trade as we see there's a snowball man coming out of nowhere. It's just so dumb, so annoying to play against, but I don't know. I have a thing against Nunu. Nunu is just so annoying. As a jungler myself, is just playing against a Nunu is just so painful. Playing against an Olav is also painful though, so I guess they both have their own struggles, and probably rather play against a Nunu than an Olav, but you know, who cares about what I think? Big CS lead in the top lane. I didn't even realize that before. Eli Ron, more than doubling the CS of the Shen right now, which is really huge, especially for one of the Gangplank that just is going to look to bully. And the more he gets a lead, the more he's going to be able to bully And the more he can bully the Shen, the less the Shen is going to be able to roam around the map. And oh, man, Morris, you missed it. That's a shame. But holy moly, so much damage coming down from CF Card onto the Zyra, who has to flash, and MF blowing her heal in order to get them to safety. But it's to go actually to blow both their summers. They go back in. Kaisa one auto from her passive, and she does proc it, but no one will die. Here comes Snowman once again through the top lane, pushing that booger ball down the lane. It will not be knocking up the Shen, but Olav is there to counter gank that.
Yeah, every time I see that snowball, I'm just like, what is the old game? I'm like, category, I think is what it's called.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, just...
But going into their second or third clears now, I think both junglers will be relatively close to 6. I would assume Nunu needs another 2 camps probably. Well, I would assume same with Olav. If each of them got 2 more camps, then they're buffs, actually. Maybe a little bit less than Nunu just because you got both of the crabs to start the game out. And Anivia hitting this level 6 spot, though, is where we start to see Anivia push waves and roam. Because of that ultimate, she is able to really clear those waves a lot quicker than the Orianna, which will allow her to roam around the map a little bit more frequently.
Just taking a look at gold
go
right
ahead.
now. Just taking a look at gold right now. It's like it's about like very much even. Well, we get that Ithaca still up, and it's like very interesting to see like how far it's at. Back in the first game, it says IC had this huge lead, and now it's catching up very quickly.
Yeah, and now they don't really have that big of a lead to work with so early. Sandbag is taking a dragon, though. I don't think Olav knows he is there, so he might not see contention, but no, doesn't look like he will be contesting it at all. It's just Mountain Drake for Ithaca, followed by an Ocean Drake that'll be spawning in 5 minutes. So we'll be seeing a different soul this game, either in the Cloud Soul or the Infernal Soul. So
it'd be interesting to see the Cloud. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think it'd be very interesting to see the Cloud Soul coming out this game. Normally it's like that. Normally it's in between games. Is that I haven't played a Cloud Soul in a hot second. I just feel like it's more like Ocean, Mountain, or Volcanic. I really want to see the Cloud come out this game.
I kind of agree with that, and like having the extra ultimate cooldown is something that Ithaca could really impact from because they have the long ultimates like the Gangplank and the Kaisa that are going to be on a longer cooldown than most other ultimates. I mean, it doesn't really affect the Nivea, who's ult like on a 4-second cooldown to begin with, but Kaisa's these gold graphs are looking a little bit interesting so far. Both the Gangplank and the Kaisa are up a whole bunch of gold on their opponents. Oh. Shenton missing. Both junglers are in the area looking for a gank. Here comes the Olav, followed by the Booger Man himself. Olav blowing his ult. TP coming in now from CF Card to the top lane. It is a 3v2. Lambo taken very low, killed for first blood on the hands of Eli Ron. And the second kill will go over to Sandbag as it is the first 2 kills of the game and 2 kills for Ithaca.
That Sandbag is definitely using like everything that a Nunu should be playing, especially that Snowball. He is playing it very well to see.
He is indeed. He's spending a lot of time. He's moving around the map really, really quickly and working well. It's like has a level up on the Olaf now. I mean, I'm assuming the Olaf is relatively close to level 7, but I think the Nunu got a lot of XP from top lane. So I think he's relatively ahead at this point. This mid lane matchup has been more boring than I've wanted it to be. I was hoping this mid lane matchup would be exciting. We'd see a lot of jungle support pressure, but at this point, both of the supports are chilling in lane. It's like we don't have a level 7 ADC and a level 4 support anymore. They're all at the same level, all level 7 at this point, or level 6, I guess. But
yeah, I was also I was looking for that mid lane matchup. I was like, ooh, gotta get some popcorn working here, and
It's just we haven't seen anything so far, and I mean that can change on a tee. There's no question about it. But at the same point, at the moment, it's just kind of chillaxed. Do want to talk about this top lane though, is this Shen is falling more and more into a hole down almost 50 CS at this point, or down almost 40 CS rather. That's not good. Nico ulting, flashing, forcing the flash out of the Zyra as well, as Olaf will also flash. It is a 3v3. MF is using the bullet time. She won't get much out of it. Shen has now joined the fray, and overall it'll be a 2-for-1 trade for Saint. Oh, sorry, a 1-for-1 trade. But I think that's actually pretty worth it from Ithaca. Like, they lose the life of their ADC, which is unfortunate. But at the same point, the Shen, who's already giga behind, is just going to gain... Oh, no, Manny, you did not just do that. The jukes on this Nico. That's an F. Sorry, Lambo. Not this time, I guess. But that's really unfortunate. And it's now we're seeing a fight in the mid lane that we've been looking to see all game. Here goes the damage, and Sandbag looking to get the kill with the Nunu ultimate. It does not get it this time as Anivia draws first blood through those mid lane champions. But as I was going through before, this Shen, who is already so behind, just missed 2 waves of XP on that ultimate bot lane. That really maybe wasn't very necessary. Like, he is just so far behind at this point. If you can see gold charts, I'm assuming he's like a solid 500 to 1,000 gold behind, and oh my lord, 1,800 gold behind, and he somehow can still fight Eli wrong. But 1,800 gold behind in the top lane, that's huge, especially for a late scaling champion like Gangplank. But Nunu is coming for the gank, misses the booger onto the Shen, so not much will come of it, although Mr. Cuddle, or McCuddles, will have to blow his flash.
Yeah, it's just... Right now, it's just like, I feel like that Shen definitely has some work to do, is that catching up is definitely going to be really hard, especially in very much late game later, is that if the Shen's still behind.
I agree. I'm sorry. I'm going to interrupt you just for a quick second because we are seeing a skirmish in the mid lane. We can get to that to the point in a second. I think you're true, but we are seeing a TP now from the Gangplank into the fray, as it looks like it'll be a 5v3, 5v4 actually. Shen does not have his ultimate to join the fight, so realize that he will not be able to make it, but St. Lawrence is just running for their lives right now. His fruit is very, very low, and a lot of their cooldowns are not up, so free Drake. Ithaca College, it will be the Ocean Drake going down, and the Cloud Soul, just like you said you wanted to see before, the extra ultimate cooldown reduction, and the passive movement speed inside of the jungle whirlwind thingy-mabobs. So, very good to see.
Yeah, especially with that cooldown, that's definitely, especially like we talked about earlier, that cooldown's definitely going to be very much on Icy's side.
I do agree. And, safe card getting rooted up. Not too much damage will come out of it, just a little bit of poke in the Conquer Prac. Eli Ron will be cracking the first tower of the game, getting that extra gold, and he may even be able to kill the Shen here. Actually, the Olaf is moving up, so we can't overextend too much, but he'll just take the small trades and run out. Oh, Olaf is around, though. This could fear badly, as they have not seen him around, but nope. Eli Ron will just back off with that. Ooh, that's a spicy. The Essence Reaver first buy. You know, okay, this is really... I know it's not a usual item for Gangplank, and I know this is really me going way out of the world here, but what if we saw a Gale Force? He just bought a Noon Quiver. We might see the Gale Force Gangplank. I've heard about this. I haven't really seen it, but because he has Essence Reaver and now he has the Noon Quiver, I think we're going to see an Essence Reaver Gangplank, which is very, very, very high DPS and very, very fun to watch. He's ahead.
I feel like if that Gangplank goes off like that, we're gonna have one, as we said before, is that we're gonna have one cool match going on.
Yeah, he is going to be dealing so much DPS in these fights. I am very happy to see it, and he also purchased the... Are they called Lucidity boots still? I don't even know. But the CDR boots, or the Omnivamp, or whatever the word is for CDR, for cooldown reduction now. I don't know the term. I've been playing too much Valorant. But trades going into the top lane. Eli Ron is... Look at those Qs. Look at this damage. This is funny. He's just doing so much damage. He's just able to take down the Shen by himself. That's, with just the use of his ultimate, that is crazy. And if he can just switch back to gold for just one quick second, because I think we're going to get a fight. I do think, yeah, he's almost double the gold that Shen has. That is a big pirate. He has stolen all of Shen's gold and now has it for his own. Holy moly. He's... Can't say that. Well, yes, that is a very strong gangplank at this point. Oh, bullet time coming out. Manny has to back off, or Man Walrus rather has to back off as now Olaf has joined the fray. He will be gill forced on and will be able to flash to safety and survive for the time being. But here comes Snowman, just throwing the snowball down the lane, I guess. Letting them know they're there, showing his presence. But... oof. This Rift Herald, I didn't even realize the Rift Herald was picked up, but this Rift Herald will be pretty big. I think it'll give a tower over to St. Lawrence, which is relatively big. Oh, it won't give the tower, it'll just get the charge off. But TP coming in now from the Anivia and the Kaisa, so it's a double TP. Snowball will miss, so now it is just the 4 members of IC chilling down in the bot side. But I do want to point out, though, that as big as this lead the Gangplank is, this Misfortune is also looking pretty strong. She almost has her Gale Force finished up now, or what I would assume to be the Gale Force with the pickaxe and the Cloak of Agility. But, oh, yep, there we go. She just bought it right there. So this game isn't completely lost just yet. This game is still relatively close, even though the gold lead doesn't look it. And I really feel like there is still an avenue for St. Lawrence to come back and take this game.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Is that I feel like St. Lawrence is that, like, we're taking a look right now, is that if they start ramping up very quickly, I definitely do believe that St. Lawrence can easily grab gold.
I do agree, and there is an engage in the bot lane as Olaf uses his ultimate, but luckily Man Walrus was there to make sure CF Card was able to survive and make it out. Zyra flashing, forcing Halachu to flash as well, as he's now taken very, very low, and Sandbag with the steal, the kill steal onto the... oh. I don't think Zyra makes it out of this. Nope, she does not. As 2 more kills to the side of Ithaca.
Yeah, Sandbag, I believe that Sandbag right now, especially playing Nunu, is definitely just being like, hey, I'm just going to roll all over you with a snowball and you're just going to take it. And I feel like that's the best way to play Nunu, especially in this game right now.
I do agree with that. He's playing Nunu to a T, and he's building tank, which is kind of lame. But I mean, I guess it's to be expected. Ithaca really doesn't have another tank. Oh, Eli, lame shield bow. Eli run with a shield bow purchase. I mean, it's probably the smart thing to do, but it's not as fun as something like a Gale Force would have been. But I guess I'll accept it this time. Although he didn't buy a Darksteel and Gangplank. So
you got the Cloud Drake though.
Yeah, true. The Cloud Drake and the 3rd Cloud Drake, or the 3rd Drake in general, going over to Ithaca College, which leads them up to being on Soul Point. And oh no, Misfortune. I don't know if this is where you necessarily want to be, getting chased down by Eli Ron. 1 parlay and an auto attack will do half of the damage of Slew this time. But he is getting collapsed on now by 3 members. Ithaca is around to combat it if he needs to. Shen ult in on the Olaf. He can't necessarily see it. Bullet rant time coming out. But Eli Ron just used the orange and his flash to get to safety. Oh, they're looking for a turn though. Nico with the ult on the 3 members of St. Lawrence. Kaisa is now in the back line as Nunu is the first one to fall. CF Card is in a little bit of a not really ideal location, but it doesn't really matter anyways, as she does enough damage with her Q to take down the Kaisa. Man Walrus is here to defend him now. It misses the E, unfortunately, but I feel like they will still be able to get out. Nope. He will not be able to get out. Olaf is a fair champion. He does absolutely no damage and doesn't heal his whole health bar, and I'm agreeing with what I'm seeing in the chat right now. I am definitely shaking my head that there is no Gale Force from Eli Ron. But looking back on it, that is not the trade that Ithaca wanted to take. They lost 3 members in the space for only 1. That's one way to give St. Lawrence an avenue to get back into this game.
Yeah, especially taking that trade is that now St. Lawrence has all this time before can get a couple of respawns now. Well, before that, they can just either ramp up SP. We can have they can either ramp up XP, or they can just start taking out turrets and trying to even out the match that we hear between the 5 and 0 for turrets wise.
I do agree, and like they did lower their gold lead a little bit. I believe they're down almost 12,000 gold a few minutes ago, and now they have climbed back to just under 10k behind, like a little bit less than 9.5 even. So this could go either way. So Ithaca does have to play it safe, but realize that the Cloud Soul coming up is pretty important. It is again the weakest soul, but at the same point, just having the soul in general is better than not having anything. But I want to come back to this because I know we talked about it last game, and I know it wasn't big, but I really think Ithaca should start looking towards this Baron. It's 20 minutes, it's up. I don't think St. Lawrence can beat you in a fight. I really feel like this Baron could be a huge thing for them, but oh no, Manuel is caught out by the Orianna Shockwave. He will just run away, not really too much to come out of it. Orianna will blow her Ghost. He will blow his Flash, but nothing else. Ithaca may be looking for a fight here. Halachu will not be able to join the fight, although the Shen of McCuddles will. So I'm not exactly sure if we will see a fight so far, but oh my goodness. Eli Ron has done it. He has doubled the gold of the Shen. That is disgusting, to say the least. Oh my lord. Oh. I have no words. That's just and he only has a 450 gold bounty, by the way. But that's kind of scary. And he just backed and bought his collector. So now he's 3 items, by the way. And there is only one other person in the game who has 2 complete items. If you want to think about that, he has 3. CF Card has 2, barely 2. He has 3 full items. That is
pretty scary.
That's one crazy. That's a lot of. That's some crazy stuff. But looking forward to this Drake is going to be spawning in just a moment. Something that Ithaca is really going to have to start focusing on, especially if they want this soul. I think it's valuable. I'm reading chat and memeing. Oh, God. But this Drake now spawning in 40 seconds, but something that's very important to look at. Zyra is taken very, very low and had to blow her flash and almost got out of it, but ooh. Back to over a little bit over 10k 1,000 gold. 10k 1,000 gold. I'm really good at talking, by the way. 10,000 gold up now. Shockwave will delete CF card in front of this Drake, and this is not looking good. Olaf is using his Ragnarok to get in on Eli around as fast as he can. I don't think he'll make it out of this one, although, Jesus Christ, he just deals so much damage. If he got both of those barrels down, I believe he would have gotten 2 kills there, but alas, he did not. So Ithaca not giving up this Drake. Ithaca will not be giving up the Drake. I think Sandbag will go for a steal. He has his Smite Eat on the Nunu, I believe, and there it is, the Smite Eat. Nunu steals the Drake. It is a Cloud Soul for Ithaca, and now he's going to try his best to run away. And he's just so, he's just so fast. Oh, man, he did not get out, but he was very close to getting out there. But we do have to realize, though, Anivia, yeah, the camera just went to it before I could say. He is currently taking the inhibitor tower. And I don't think he'll get the full inhibitor, but, and Manmars is also just 1v1ing McCuddle balls down in the bot river, but, oh. Not necessarily the trade you wanted to take, but I guess it's a trade that happens. Ugh.
And Halachu comes.
Yeah, going big there, killing our friend Anivia. Now he's a little bit caught out. I don't think he makes it out of this one. Nivia will not survive this time. And 1,000 shutdown, that's... Oh no. Yeah, that's kind of big, but Ithaca is now going into focus on this Baron that we talked about before. It's a little bit later than I would have liked to see it, but regardless, it'll be something that's very helpful. For sure.
Yeah, having that Baron is just that. First of all, I was very happy that they got the Baron. But second of all, is that having that Baron is definitely a key element of having control, especially the late game. That late game is going to be very crucial in this match. Is that no matter what side is having to play decent late game, is that late game is going to be detrimental to either side.
I agree, but I just feel like Ithaca's going to hit it so much sooner than St. Lawrence will. Like at this point, Gangplank has backed a bit ago, and he didn't add anything to his inventory. So I think he's saving for a full item, which I'm going to take a guess. Okay, we haven't seen any items. We know that Leandry's isn't an item you can buy as a non-mythic anymore. I think Eli Ron is going to go for an Infinity Edge next, which I think is quite spicy. Snowball going down mid lane, though. I actually have no idea what he's doing. But regardless, see if Card is able to ult on top, but he will get shockwaved and knocked up and deleted, actually. Oh, Manwaris landing the ult on 2, but he won't make it out either as Olav collects a double kill. But now Eli Ron has joined the fight and is able to do so much damage. He uses his ult to zone out the rest of the members of St. Lawrence, but regardless. I think this is going to be an inhibitor for Ithaca. I don't know if St. Lawrence really wins the 3v3 here, especially since they've used their cooldowns. The only cooldown they have up right now is the flash on Slew. But the tower will fall. The inhibitor is now round halfway destroyed, and Ithaca decided to back off because of respawns. The Shen and the Zyra have just come back, so they'll just back off and start prepping for the next push, which I think will be on the Elder Drake in 3 minutes.
Definitely, I definitely was pushing an Elder Drake is probably the biggest best bet.
I do agree, and it's coming up in a few minutes, so they have a few minutes for prep for it, so they could try to look for a fight and win before then, but I'm not necessarily, because they necessarily don't need the Elder Drake to win. They need one clean team fight, and they should just be able to push through the base, kill at a minimum 2 inhibitors, and they'll be able to win from there. But they're currently just starving out St. Lawrence by taking all of their camps and making sure they can't get any resources, or very limited resources at that.
Definitely.
Oh, I thought it was going to be the full Infinity Edge buy. It's only a BF sword. That's kind of sad. But can we see gold charts again really quick? I'm really interested to see. Yeah, this is nuts. I mean, that Olav has a ton of gold. Like, don't get me wrong. That Olav has a lot of gold. But when the amount of gold on the richest person on your team is the 3rd richest on the other team, that's really unfortunate to look at. But I do think that this Olav might be able to put St. Lawrence, this Olav of Lambo, will be able to put St. Lawrence on his back. And there is a chance that if they come back, it will be through this Olav, 500%.
I agree. That Olaf being the richest, I feel like that Olaf's just going to buy a bunch of stuff, and then Olaf's just going to come out swinging.
I do agree. He will come out swinging. Oh, no, as Manwaris gets picked off. He will not be able... He will be able to juke them out this side. He is just so good with these... Oh, boy. Olaf has decided he doesn't want them to run away, blowing his flash and getting in there. But regardless, Eli Ron is on the inhibitor in the top lane, and there really isn't much that Slew can do other than run away and hope he doesn't get crit for his whole health bar. Oh, and there's his whole health bar getting crit for. But the ultimate's getting blown, and now Eli Ron will probably have to run away as there are other members of St. Lawrence converging. But reminder again that it is less than 30 seconds until the Elder Drake spawns, which is, I would say, what should help Ithaca close out the game.
Yeah, but if that Ithaca has that Drake, is that Drake is going to basically just put them over the edge. And that I think that when that Drake... Here we go.
Nunu in the fight, landing his ultimate doesn't really do a lot of damage, but the Anivia sure does. Holy cow, Kaisa using her ultimate fury to get in the backline and kill the Orianna for the first kill. There goes both of the bot lane members of SLU, and now it is just nobody. As that fight was dominated by Ithaca College, and they will take the ace and take the game, and that should be the series. Yeah, but looks like it is the series, as we are seeing GG's in the chat because the chat is up again, because the chat loves us. But the inhibitor falls. There goes the first tower. The second tower will be soon to fall, followed by the Nexus. And that's our series today, folks. We have a 2-0 for the side of Ithaca College over St. Lawrence. Okay, Welcome back, guys. And just a reminder, after the series, this was a 2-0 series on the side of Ithaca. And I am joined here by the captain, the support, the Nico God, Manny Manuel Sanchez. Manny, how you doing?
Doing good. We got it done eventually.
It did happen eventually. So my first question is kind of just a joke-ish. I know you've been playing Nico for a bit. I was talking about it in Champ Select. It was something that I was really hoping you would pull out. So what was your reasoning for pulling it out in this game? Like, why did you think that this is my Nico debut game?
Well, I don't know. Do I lean into the Madden team persona or do I give the actual answer? Because if I go Madden team persona, we were limit testing in that second game. But in actuality, I did think I think it's a sleeper situational pick. It's really only good into like certain matchups. And I didn't really have anything I really wanted to play into Zyra. I was playing for the meme. And also I was like, listen, the way the bot lane worked this series is Tenzin and I walk towards a wave and they just backpedal all the way to tower. So I was like, okay, even if they don't do, even if they the MF Zyra has the potential to beat us, but I didn't think they were going to do that just based off how they were playing in the first game.
And it did definitely seem like that. You guys are being really aggressive. And this next question kind of goes towards the first game, because I noticed that in this first game, you and the other support, who I can't remember who started, I know they switched supports in between games, but you guys were never in lane, because even level 2, I think you were still level 1 at that point. You went mid lane on the Nautilus and was not able to kill, but able to blow the flash on the Orion in the mid lane. So my question revolves around that. How do you tell the differences between lanes? Like, how do you know when it's good to roam or when it's not good to roam? But what's your decision behind roaming rather than staying in lane?
So in the first game, I decided to roam because I was playing Nautilus, and I discussed this in the last question. But literally after the first trade that happened, anytime I would walk forward in lane, they would just backpedal like all the way to tower. So I couldn't do anything in lane. And they did this at all points in the entire series. It was actually really annoying because they would pick us off occasionally, but we just had complete run of the map, complete run of the jungle. So even though the kills were close in the games, you look at the gold lead and we're up 15K. I don't know. It was really, really obnoxious to play against. So I was eventually early on, I was like, okay, so if this guy is just never going to stand in range of my hook, he's going to miss XP. So I can do that. I'll just roam around the map, basically. And my goal with that as well is to basically make Nami roam too, because he's just turbo useless, roaming. Nami roaming around can't match Nautilus at any point in the game in terms of vision control or anything else. So I just decided I was going to run him around the map and basically just, exercise the support gap.
And I mean, what you were doing was working well. You were getting kills out of it. You were roaming around. The Nami wasn't, as you said, wasn't really able to do much. She was 3 levels behind her ADC at point. So that's not necessarily what you want to see. But looking forward to the upcoming weeks, I want to talk about the teams that you guys are going to be playing against. Which team do you think will be the most challenging to see? And when do you see them? Because you know the schedule better than I do.
So last week of groups, we play St. Rose. That's the only other good team. In our conference. Everyone else we're just going to run over 2-0 on the way. Like I said, leading into the Madden persona here. We're really just looking forward to week 5.
Week 5, and week 5 is a fun one for us because I know we won't be remote week 5. It's a little teaser for all you people around. We'll actually be in studio, so that'll be really fun for us. But looking forward. So if you think you'll steamroll everyone, how many maps do you think you'd lose in the group stages? How many games do you think you'd lose, rather?
Counting the St. Rose one or before that?
Counting all of them. How many?
Counting all of them? I think we 2-1 St. Rose, and I think it's really close, and I think we 2-0 all the other ones, so I'd say 1.
1.
But, yeah.
I am going to hold you to that. I'm just letting you know you've now been quoted, and you will be held to that for the rest of the season.
Listen, that's fine. If you scout, if you guys do your job and scout the other teams, you'll agree with me.
I mean, I've done a little bit of scouting, and I do think you guys will do very well. But then again, you never know. Maybe Sandbag's power will go out, and you have to pull me in again. So, just saying, you don't want that to happen. So,
hopefully not.
But thanks for being on, and we'll be right back for our closing remarks in just a moment. thank you again to Manny for coming in and taking this interview in the last few seconds. It came out of the blue, but and it was very good to talk to him. I always enjoy talking to Manny. He always has fun things to say. But regardless, just one more overview of the series today was Ithaca College versus St. Lawrence University, and Ithaca rather, came up on top 2-0 in week 1. But overall, this is the ECAC, or the Eastern Collegiate Athletic Conference. Sorry, I can't talk right now, but it's been a long day. But regardless, in week 2, Ithaca will be facing Alfred State University, and we'll be back here at the same time, 3 p.m. next Saturday. And this has been me, Jared Cameron Anderson, and my color caster, Sam Sinatra Seavor. And we hope to see you guys next week. Peace.